Why did I go vegan? Very, very good question. This is Sharon from Raw and Awesome, and if you like this series, please subscribe. Also, like and comment. Your comments are very important to me because that's how we share, we can grow, we can learn from each other. Each one teach one. I realized that I haven't really had a chance to tell my story of why I decided to become vegan, and I know that a lot of my clients know the story and I talk about it at my workshops, but I wanted to share with you some of the reasons why I decided to go vegan. One of the things that you may not know is I've battled with my weight all my life. I've always been the chubby, overweight, girl, and I was, definitely a victim of bullying. And, the largest that I've probably been is probably around 190 something. I stopped weighing myself after a while. I was also at the point where I stopped really buying clothes. Clothes were too small for me because I was like, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna go on a diet. And I just, went through a huge, long, awkward phase all the way through, past college. And it came to a point where I started looking at my family history and genetics and everything, and knowing that, genetically, weight gain and being over obesity runs in my family. And also what runs in my family are a host of diseases: diabetes, high blood pressure, breast cancer, prostate cancer, a lot of different cancers. And I, witnessed, family members having to get limbs amputated and just, a host of things. And a lot of my family, by the time they were in their mid 30s, this is when I really, really started digging into health and wellness. I realized we're already starting to take medication and had to continue to take medication for the rest of their life. And I knew, being overweight, if I continued on that same path, that I was doomed for that. I just, and my diet was just ridiculous. Now, I need to tell you a little bit about where I'm from. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And I love Arizona, everything Arizona, and I love the warmth and the sun and the sunsets and everything. I also love the food. Now, Arizona, as you know, it is in the Southwest and just known for wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Mexican food. Love it, love it, love it, love it. The problem that I had is I don't know moderation. So for me, everything was like nachos, some type of wheat with cheese, or cheese crisp, which was tortilla with cheese, or burritos, which was meat wrapped in more wheat with cheese and sour cream on top. Tacos, and I always had to put what? Cheese and sour cream, more cheese please. And it was just, my body started just really rejecting all that dairy, and I was just gaining weight. I was ballooning up. Had I did more salsa and guacamole and not wheat every single day, it would have been fine. But like I said, I didn't know moderation. I'm an all-in kind of girl. I just want what I love. And so I just kept gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. And I knew the writing was on the wall. With the direction that I was going, I was becoming, more obese. And I knew that, either high blood pressure or diabetes or something was going to be in my future if I didn't change. Around college, I decided I needed to start looking at different diets so I could lose weight. So I started doing a little bit of everything. I was doing like the cabbage soup diet. I was doing grapefruit diet. I was doing a different vegetable soup diet, like a chemical diet. I tried Atkins. I tried weight loss. I did quick weight loss centers. I did everything. And so the key with all of those was I did lose weight, but during the process, I was miserable. I was upset. I was frustrated. And I was gassy and bloated and just so many different things. And then after I went off of that particular diet, what always happens? I gain weight. I gain it back all the time. And most of the times it wasn't just what I lost, because a lot of times you just lose water weight in the beginning. It was I gained back that water weight and I gained on top of that. And it's just because my body probably was like, okay, she's starving herself. Let me go ahead and go into starvation mode. And when I get food in, I'm going to just grab that and I'm going to let it just turn into fat and store it. And so it's very unhealthy. Losing weight back and forth and doing yo-yo dieting was really harsh and very difficult on my organs. And I knew that I needed to do something different. So fast forward a little bit, past college and everything, I remember sitting down one day with a coworker. And what she was telling me was that she also, wanted to lose weight and just be healthier overall. And she was just kind of interested in finding out what it meant to her to fast for life. She didn't know what it meant, but she felt like that's something that she should be doing. I had no idea what it was whatsoever. So, me being the techie that I am, I went home that night, started Googling. Text. Okay, let me find out what I can see. I came back the next day and I was super, super excited. I was like, I think I know what you're talking about. Because she, her keywords were fasting for life. I put in those keywords, and what came back for me was the raw food diet. And that's how I found out about the raw food, raw vegan, some food, living diet that I really enjoy a lot of it today. And at that point, we didn't quite know exactly what it was. We didn't know all the recipes. We just knew that you couldn't really prepare anything between like 108 and 115 degrees. We knew that, you had an array of fruit and vegetables and sprouted grains and seeds and some legumes, and you could still do sea veggies and everything, but we didn't quite know what that looked like. But we looked at a lot of the results. The people that were on it, even if it was just 80% or 70%, had amazing results. Not only were they losing weight, but they had mental clarity. They had great skin, which was like a fountain of youth. They were reversing so many ailments, like, just so many ailments, whether it was eczema or their high blood pressure was getting under control. They were, managing their sugar levels, their blood sugar levels. There were so many different things. And we decided to dig a little bit deeper and do a 30-day challenge. So we did 30 days of raw, and it was just the two of us at the beginning. But by the time we got to the end of the challenge, we had 2 or 3 other women that joined us, and all of us had the same results. We all lost weight. We were definitely satisfied. We felt like we were not depriving ourselves of foods that we wanted. We made beautiful desserts with fruit and nuts, and we made sushi with cauliflower, and we made little Big Macs with cheese, but they were just, with the nut meats, and it was like a nut cheese sauce and everything. And we were just eating wonderful salads and doing smoothies and learning more about kale and all these things that we really hadn't experimented with before. And we all had really, really good results. And like I said, we didn't feel deprived. For me, my skin felt better. At the time, I was having backaches. My backaches were gone. So a lot of my inflammation that I could see and feel on a daily basis had been, relieved. And all of us had really good results. And at that point, I knew that I was onto something. I knew that, raw foods was a journey for me and a place that I wanted to start to go, and just at least have it to be 70 to 80% of my diet. And that's where I started, just really volunteering at other raw food centers that are local here. I started researching about different raw food gurus. I found out about Anna Wigmore and the Hippocrates Center and David Wolf and Alyssa Cohen. And, I got my Live on Living Food certification through Alyssa. And it's just, the world opened up for me. And I started just really engaging in life. And even though, veganism or raw veganism was more for my health, you usually have vegans that are either doing it for health or they're doing it for compassion. And I was doing it more for health. But as I started becoming more aware and start looking at some of the inhumane processes of animals and everything, of course I started saying, you know what? It's more than just about me and the food and everything. It's also about the animals. It's about the environment. It's about the emissions and, everything else that goes with the environment, with the pollution of animals and how that whole system is done. But that was a lot of the reasons why I gravitated toward vegan and raw vegan. And there's just some natural things that occurred since then, like my zest for life has changed. My feelings of love towards, humanity and people, wanting to be outside, being excited to, see rainbows and butterflies and, the grass and even the trees. I mean, life is just, it's like a little veil has, just kind of opened up and raised for my eyes. And so it's been a very, very good process. And so I just really encourage you, as you're on your journey, you don't just take one step at a time. Be gentle with yourself, look at what your needs are, see if you could really start tuning into your intuition. If you say, oh, I'm going to eat these wings, so I'm going to have to take this antacid pill or something, maybe you might want to think of a a replacement or something different than the wings, because your body's telling you something every time you have aches in your knees and your elbows or in your neck. Really think about the foods that you're eating. And then also, as you start, crowding out, some of those foods with things that are, replacements that are more natural or and healthy for you, you'll start seeing things that you wouldn't even realize. Not only about, weight loss or your skin getting clearer, but like for me, I never had a problem with my cholesterol, but as I started getting my test results from my doctors, that's one of the things that naturally went down. And, a lot of people asked about protein and calcium and things of that nature. I have some of those things checked, like my protein is still fine. My iron level is still fine, but I know that I need to have a well-balanced diet. I'm doing proper food combining most of the time. I actually probably need to do better than that. I am eating the rainbow, and we'll talk about eating in colors in some other videos. And I just try to have, a nice balance throughout the day. And then also just kind of understanding that I don't have to do the standard, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When am I hungry? When is my body trying to tell me it's time for it to rest? And, a lot of times before, I was eating because we're supposed to have 3 main meals a day, and then maybe an additional snack, 5 small meals. And I was taking advantage of that system. Like, okay, if I eat throughout the day, then I'll lose weight more. No, not with what I was choosing. And, now that I know more about, the fresh fruit and vegetables and everything and things that feed me, naturally, it's much, much easier. Anyway, so this is Sharon Johnson, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of my story of my raw food journey and my vegan journey. I'm not 100% raw vegan, but I do have either juice or smoothies or fruit every single day, and my goal is always to have at least 70% to 80% of my meals raw each day. So I do have some cooked food, and then some days I don't have cooked food. And some days it's just all raw foods, salads and raw soups and juices, and I'll snack on some nuts or seeds, or I'll have an apple or an orange, and it's always so much variety. And so you can have that as well, and you don't have to feel deprived. Once again, this is Sharon from Raw and Awesome. If you like this topic, please subscribe, like, and comment. I want to hear about your journey. What drew you to this video? Are you interested in a raw food diet? Are you interested in a vegan diet? And what are some of the reasons why? And how can you put some of your why into what you want to do, so that way it's very important for you. The why is basically, I want to do it for my health, I want to do it for my kids, I want to do it for longevity. As you start putting your why into action, then it becomes more of a attainable goal, or something that drives you to want to do it. But I would love to hear your why. Talk to you soon.